Chapter 2 Responsibilities 2-1 Commander, United States Army Garrison, U.S. AGG Commander, the responsibility of the U.S. Army Garrison, subordinate, tailored U.S. Army Garrison Fire and Emergency Service Program, tailored United States Army Garrison, USA G Commander, responsible for the tailored of the U.S. Army Garrison Fire and Emergency Service Program. 2.2 Director of the Emergency Services, DES, U.S. Army Garrison Baum holder. The DES is Director of Emergency Services, directly responsible for the U.S. Army Garrison Baum Commander and the technical development, execution and supervision of U.S. Army Garrison Bomb Holder Fire and Emergency Service Programs. 2-3 The Fire Emergency Services, FNE and S, the Garrison Fire and Chief and responsible for execution of the Garrison Fire and Emergency activities manages the Garrison Fire Emergency Services Program. The Garrison Fire Chief is responsible to do the Directory of Emergency Services for technical administrative operation of their local Garrison Fire and Emergency Services. 2.4 Functions in Fire and Emergency Services Management. The Garrison and Emergency Services Garrison Fire Chief and 1 manages Garrison Fire and Emergency Service operations. 2 determines annual budget requirements of Garrison Fire and Emergency Services. 3 supervises 24 hours firefighting emergency response services. 4 the Fire Chief of the designated Senior Fire Officer, SFO. Senior Fire Officer shall be Incident and Commander, IC, for all fire and emergency service management operations. Manages 24-hour fire alarm communication center. The Fire Chief designates the Senior Fire Officer acts upon emergency calls. Assistant with the Department of Works, manages the consistent emergency customer services of after hours, which maintains 24 hours fire prevention program. 9 First Management Survey Program facilities. 10 will establish liaison within the host nation of the Garrison Fire Emergency Services, the EMS, the medical or other emergency services. Develop mutual aid agreements with local fire services. 11 Conducts technical design review of all new construction and renovation projects. 12 The attends the potential final technical design review meetings within the architect, engineering, and A&E. 13 Investigates the cause of each fire. 14 Prepares, submits electrical DoD fire incident reports in support of IMCOM incident reporting program. Executes the National Fire Incident Reporting System, the NFIRS database. Provides a fire safety education to soldiers, the DoD child development centers and social groups requesting the services. 16 Performs monitor, maintenance, repair, exchanging facility, portable fire extinguishers where can contact the Garrison Fire Emergency Services in the U.S. point of the contact of the contractor. Executes the extinguishing change. 17 The response to medical emergency. The EMS is the first response to weapons of mass destruction and WMD incidents. 10 Supports a basis spill prevention control countermeasurement plan, the SPCCP, which is the spill prevention control countermeasurement plan, and installation spill contingency plan, the ISCP. Reference to AR 201. Fire inspector have full authority to effect the stoppage operations considered to be immediate danger to the life and property of fire. Conduct periodic life safety inspection, fire risk management surveys, buildings, structures, areas to identify fire deficiencies, recommended corrective actions, conducting technical review of construction, renovation, design, documentations, attend design review meetings, perform final acceptance inspection, deconduction, technical pre-occurrence occupancy inspection, conduct regular training and such, a newcomer briefings, new building and new manager excavation coordination training on fire extinguisher classes. 5F The attending pre-construction conferences, concept and final design construction meetings with architecture and engineers. Investigating fire determines the cause, coordinated with the MP and the CID to determine the possible limit liability claims. Prepared the Department of Defense fire incident reports supported by the IMCOM and fire reporting program. Actively support mutual aid and relationships with host nations emergency services. The standard acts as the SFO. What is the SFO? I'm sorry, guys. Senior Fire Officer. X is the senior fire officer directed by the fire chief. The provost marshal office and director of emergency services, DES. Upon notification of the fire emergency, on post dispatch patrol to scene of the emergency to control traffic and crowds. The senior patrolman will report to the Garrison Fire Emergency Services Office official charge and scene and detailed information applicable military investigation. NPI, Criminal Investigation Division, CID, will be notified to secure criminal scenes. Streets, roads will be blocked off. Guards posted fire for safety and security reasons. Unauthorized person will be removed immediately area of the emergency. 27 unit commanders are responsible for developing and enforcing sound fire prevention procedures within their area of destruction or their area of jurisdiction. This will always minimum appoint written individual perform the duties to building manager of evacuation commanders. A copy of appointment orders will be sent to the Garrison Fire Emergency Service. The person nominated will have a position authority to handle the fire prevention within the unit. The unit commander will nominate a new individual to prepare or to prior to departure of appointed building manager, evacuation coordinator, and firm with Garrison Fire and Emergency Services accordingly. D. The developing operation instruction to follow when fire is discovered. Operating instruction will be included in the guidance for each separated activity occupancy under unit control instruction, which will also include fire reporting, excavation procedure, safety guarding, classified information-based fire fighting actions, available portable fire extinguisher depending on the type of activity. Instructions must also determine procedures and emergency removal of vehicles, missions, and essential items. C is that ensure that the assigned personnel, both military and civil, will receive mandatory fire prevention and protection operation. Each newly assigned individual will get an initial basic training attending a general orientation class at fire station within 30 days of the assignment. Notify the Garrison Fire Emergency Services of fire hazards that cannot be corrected on the spot. Notify the Garrison Fire Emergency Services immediately on the fire damage discharge of the fire suppression systems and portable fire exchangers and activated fire alarms. 2-8. Activity Director, Organization Tenant, Activity Commander. Agencies Director, Organization Tenant, Activity Commanders are responsible for developing the prevention protection procedures within their areas. They will minimize and appoint the responsible person to activity building manager, evacuation coordination provider. Copies to the Garrison Fire and Emergency Services. This person will assess this person will be assistive of executing the fire prevention program, should have the position or authority to handle the fire prevention in the organization. B. They ensure that assigned personnel, both military and civil, will receive mandatory fire prevention and protection orientation class. Each newly assigned individual will get an initial basic training attending on general orientation at the fire station within 30 days of the assignment. C. Ensure all employees receive initial recurring of the life safety orientation. The Garrison Fire Emergency Service staff is always ready to provide training and educational presentation, lectures, fire extinguisher demonstrations upon request. Interested upon agencies occurring and encouraged to call on Garrison Fire Emergency Service to schedule training and educational support. D. To take immediate action of the fire hazard corrected. E. Report spills of the Garrison Fire Emergency Service and Garrison spills coordinated in accordance with the spill contingency of spill prevention control countermeasure plan. Building prevention evacuation coordination. Building manager evacuation coordination must be appointed with a writing. Appointing orders will be sent to the Garrison Fire Emergency Services. The appointed individual will contact the Garrison Fire Emergency Services to make arrangements for the mandatory building manager evacuation coordinated training. The assigned building manager evacuation coordinator will be responsible administrator and enforcement of the fire prevention life safety program within the unit and activity. The building manager evacuation coordinator will, as minimum, develop a standard of operation procedure to be followed in case of fire instruction, including but not limited to 1. How to alert and notify Garrison Fire Emergency Services. See paragraph 311. 2. Fire evacuation plans shall be posted in bulletin boards and other conspicuous places in the building and include a floor plan, escape routes, location of fire points, push button, and type of fire alarms. Pull station safeguarding classified information. B. Accompanying fire inspector on all scheduled fire risk management surveys and fire inspection safety under his or her control. C. Take immediate corrective action and eliminate fire hazard deficiencies noted by during the fire risk management survey, fire inspection. D. The inspecting assigned during normal hours of operation at the closed business of eliminating fire hazards, determine coordination of portable fire extinguisher if possible. Such fire hazards will be eliminated on spot. Deficiencies of building manager evacuation coordinator cannot fix the spot who will be brought to the attention of the unit of the commander of the garrison fire emergency services. E. Conduct monthly fire inspections of all facilities and or under his jurisdiction using appropriate building fire prevention checklist. Building forms are enclosed in the Appendix F. If local reproduction is prohibited, they may be obtained in the garrison fire emergency services. The building evacuation coordinator will be completed in inspection forms on file for a year. At 10, initial planning of the fire station to obtain garrison fire emergency services certification, and as manager excavation coordinator within 30 days after the appointment, conduct 5 exit drills. Evacuation coordinated with the garrison fire emergency services in accordance with paragraph 5.7 in the SOP. Request the commanding manager, director, or organization appoint one or more individuals as required to perform building manager excavation coordinated duties and other areas of jointly occupied facilities. Remain constantly alert to change conditions of the compromise, jeopardize, or the fire of safety facilities of its occupants. 210 building manager evacuation coordinator and the Army Family Housing Building Coordinator is assigned by collateral duties as building manager evacuation coordinator with the USAG, U.S. Army Garrison Baum holder housing of the SOP 15-10. Housing management will be assured of the building coordinators of the Garrison Fire Emergency Services receiving mandatory building evacuation coordinator training and certificate from the Garrison Fire Emergency Services Family Housing Building Manager Evacuation Coordinator will coordinate with life safety at the building. To be conducted by monthly visual inspection of the fire extinguisher common areas of storage rooms to eliminate fire health and safety hazard. Document inspection housing checklist Appendix 5. Records will be kept on file once a year. Bringing attention to the fire emergency services. All safety deficiencies cannot be fixed on the spot. Post-emergency telephone. See paragraph 3.1. Evacuation plan on each stairwell, bulletin board, and F. Ensure the flammable liquids, batteries, composed gas cylinders are not stored in basement storage rooms. Ensure the motorcycle, motor scooters, gasoline-powered equipment are not stored in anywhere in the family housing residential facilities. H. See paragraph 6.3 of the further family housing requirements. Note the smoke detectors are required to hardwire. Public Law 102.522 will be ensured that the installed exit signs are continually illuminated. 211 tenant unit of concession areas. U.S. Army garrison tenants will comply with the fire emergency management of the standard operating procedure. Ensure the fire emergency services review all major renovation construction project compliance applicable fire protection requirements known. This includes the NAF, the AAFES, the DECA, and self-help projects. All tenants which exchange maintenance and VFL maintenance contract, i.e. DECA, DODDS, MedCom, etc., will ensure the regular maintenance repairs performed on the IAWUF 3600-02 fire alarm detection and suppressant sprinkler testing system. The BDS approved contractor personnel. The BDS Vertiban Destra Sashkir was respective garrison. All units maintenance contract service maintenance mentioned above. Responsible manages 24 hours 7 and managed at 24 by 7 days a week per program. After hours, emergency electrician, plumber, and services of fire alarm suppression systems malfunctions. The unit will provide fire and emergency services. Emergencies will inform procedures on contact of all personnel contractors. All units requiring higher security and facilities room must develop and maintain fire evacuation emergency standard operation procedure, ensuring fire department emergency forces access in the building during the fire medical emergencies, false alarms, and standard operation procedures shall be developed in conjunction with the local U.S. Army garrison bomb holder of the fire department. 212. The Department of Works, the DPW. The Garrison DPW will ensure the fire emergency services receive all projects, work orders, reviews all major renovations, constructions of projects, modified any fire protection for features that prevailed in compliance with the applicable fire protection requirements. Projects involve design, modification, fire rated construction, fire detection, fire suppression, life safety requirement services reviewed, qualified fire protection, AII WUF 3600-01, paragraph 1-5. Department of Works provides, manages the regular maintenance of the repair of AII WUF C3600-U of fire alarm detection systems, suppression, sprinkler systems, be a VDS approved contract of the VDS's Verban Deer Salskverchigan Kurtz is within the respective garrison, manages a 24/7 program of the Howard's emergency in to include electricians, plumbing, etc. and fire alarm suppression system malfunctions. Deputy Department of Public Works will provide the Fire Emergency Services Emergency Center and with information procedure and contact call personnel contractors. Chapter 3, Fire Reporting.